What's up, everyone? This is Patrick from werewolfpat.com. Today I'm with a great artist in the Los Angeles area. He's a sculptor and he sculpts guitars. So here's Doug. Hi, Doug.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
I've seen your work on the internet and I contacted you because I wanted to see firsthand what you do. And I am absolutely amazed at the quality of your work.
Thank you.
Can you tell me how you started with sculpting or carving guitars, however you want to call it?
Well, I first started carving wood in Cub Scouts. We carved neckerchief slides, and then I just my dad had a lot of carving tools. I mean, just woodworking tools in general. Got into carving, and I carved things in high school for people. And then when I moved to Hollywood to try to make some money in the music business, and I made some money singing and playing guitar, but then I started carving. Somebody asked me if I could carve a guitar for them because they knew I carved, and I carved a guitar, and then somebody saw that and wanted one, and then some of the studio musicians in Hollywood were saying, can you make one for me? And so I got off doing that for a while. I carved Steve Martin, a comedian, Steve Martin. Yeah. We grew up together.
Wow.
And at that time he was working on the Smothers Brothers show as a writer, and he was living a few blocks away from me, and he asked me if I could carve him a banjo, solid body banjo. So I started carving it, and then I got hired to go and sing and dance in the National Touring Company of Hair. So I did that for 3.5 years, and I worked on that banjo the whole time. And that's the only carving I did for that 3.5 years. And when I came back, I did a couple of pieces, and I got hired as a stagehand in television, and I did that for 25 years. I carved a piece here and there. Then as I started to come to the end of my job as a stagehand, I was approaching retirement, then I started doing it more and more, and started putting things on eBay, and people started buying them, and then I get commissions, and so now I've done about, somewhere between 50 and 60 electric guitars.
And do you know if Steve still has the banjo you carved for him?
I just refurbished it for him. Over
Really?
the years, some pieces broke off and had to be redone, and so I just about 6 or 8 months ago refurbished it for him. Wow. So yeah, he's still got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any other big names?
Well, kind of. James Burton, who was Elvis Presley's guitarist, I did a couple of guitars for him. A guy named Mike Dacey, who now plays Christian music, but he played on everybody's albums in the 70s. So not so much famous names. As a matter of fact, lately I haven't even carved for performers for the most part. It's collectors, people who are. There's a psychiatrist in Atlanta, there's a luggage manufacturer in New Jersey, and there's a guitar collector in England. Just people who like guitars now.
Could you explain what you're doing to this Telecaster?
It's an original Telecaster body, but the previous owner put an extra pickup in it. That's why it's kind of routed, kind of ugly in here.
Yeah.
Original Telecaster just has like one pickup here and one pickup here.
Right.
So this was routed out, and a third pickup was put in, and I bought it without a neck, but with all the hardware and pickups, and off eBay. And I just, I had it up on my bench, and I was looking at it for a while, and I saw in my mind this sort of cowboy reaching for a woman in distress. And so I did this in Photoshop, and then I did this drawing based on that. And I've got all of these different pictures up here of women and drapery and so forth to kind of get, the feeling to use this. They're my models.
You also sort of improvise to some extent, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I cut and paste and get like this. This isn't really what the thing looks like, but it's the layout, and it's a lot easier to do that in Photoshop.
Sure.
Than than to lay everything out and then erase and everything. And then once I got that, then I can do my drawing, and you can see that what I actually end up with isn't even from the drawing. You've got this part is there, but all of this drapery comes down into here. He has basically the same pose, but all of this will be drapery and just as I see it, you know, as it comes along.
So what kind of tools are you using for this?
Well, the standard old gouges and mallet, you know, and X-Acto knives. I have some tiny chisels for precision work. I have this little electric shaft drive. Some Dremel Moto tools. They're just little 24,000 RPM grinders. Some air grinders over here. I use a bunch of files. I got, you know, all these files that are very handy. And just whatever. I'm not a purist. Whatever cuts out wood, whatever moves wood is what I use.
Once you have finished with the carving, what's the next procedure? Are you going to sand it by hand to make it more smooth, or you like the more rough?
Well, some of it will be sanded by hand, but you can get things just about as smooth with a blade
I see.
as you can with sandpaper.
True.
And then sometimes I'll use when it's really fine. Then I'll take steel wool and sand it, you know, polish it out so that the grain comes through. You can see a little bit in there that the grain comes through, and then I'll probably airbrush it, color airbrush it. I haven't got any sense of what colors I'll use now. Probably I'll use two colors, maybe blue and red or blue and pink, purple and pink, something like that, for two different drapes molding into each other. That's it may not come out anything like that, but that's what I see now. The boots will be probably brown with black tinting. Same with the hat.
Is there a theme that you have not done yet that you're burning to do?
That I'm burning to do. I have a Janis Joplin commemorative that I started on, and I put it aside because I made part of it too complicated. Someday I may finish it, but I've got her face started on it, and I like to finish that sometime. I'm a big Janis fan.
Did you see her in concert?
Yeah.
How was it?
She was electric. You know, she was, and everybody I know that saw her felt like she was singing right to them, and I did too. And she was great.
Were you in Monterey in '67?
Yeah.
Cool. So you saw Brian Jones probably?
Yeah. Well, you know, I remember seeing Hendrix. I remember seeing Big Brother and the Holding Company. Taj Mahal was there. Some of the ones that stood out. But of course, this was 1967, so I don't remember everything that happened that weekend.
I imagine. It's kind of a blur, right?
Yeah, that's right. I performed with Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin. And, I was singing in coffee houses in the mid '60s and the late '60s, and I had one guitar. And I sang some rock and roll and some folk, and I did comedy, so they could book me in. I was real cheap too. So they could book me in as an opening act while people are filing in to get their seats with a real expensive act. So I got to play with Janis Joplin and Big Brother and with Paul Butterfield and some groups that, you know, the Seeds, and just some groups that were expensive at the time.
Speaking of coffee houses, did you ever go to Isla Vista?
Oh yeah.
To Borsodis, maybe?
No, I used to play regularly in Isla Vista at a place called the Nexus. That was it was in IV. And I think that's the only place I played up there. But I play there about every 6 weeks during that time.
I know you have a lot of work to do. You have to get ready for your wedding.
Yeah.
So we're not going to take much more of your time. you do incredible work. That's
Thank
all
you.
I can say, and I'm very happy to be here today.
All right. Well, it was good
And
chatting with you, Patrick.
Same here. So I'll post the pictures and make a nice video, and
Okay, great. Great. I'd love to see it when it's fun.
yeah, I'll definitely send you the link.
All right.
Thank you very much. See you.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.